Hi, I'm Nancy Friedman, the telephone doctor. Through our training programs and workshops, we've helped thousands of organizations improve the way they communicate with their customers. And we hear that term customer used a lot. Let's look at the definition of that word. Customer, one who buys the products or uses the services of another party. And when you think of your organization's customers, you usually picture the people who do business with you. But there's an important clarification we need to make. They are your external customers, and it's a widely accepted practice to take very good care of your external customers. Few people would argue with that. But if there are external customers, who then are your internal customers? Essential elements of internal customer service. We're exploring the differences between internal and external customers for a very good reason. We need to have a clear picture of who they are. External customers can be called by different names. To a doctor, they're called patients. To an attorney, they're clients. To a government employee, they're taxpayers or citizens. But in most cases, they're simply called customers. And we're expected to give great customer service. But now, what about internal customers? They go by another name. They're called coworkers. It might be Joe or Karen or Cynthia. You get the idea. They're internal customers. They deserve the same high-level service that we give external customers. In fact, as we like to say, we are customers to each other. And there's a practical reason why we're concerned with treating internal customers properly. It's really tough to give great service to our external customers when there's conflict, unhappiness, or lack of respect within any organization. Well, now that we begin to see the important relationship between internal and external service, let's explore the essential elements of internal customer service. Element number 1, know the mission of your organization and your role. Did you ever stop to think about why your employer pays you? What basic function do you perform? What's the reason your department exists? It's to serve customers, external and internal customers. The reason that you and your department coworkers are part of your team is because you contribute to the organization's basic purpose for existing. Either you directly serve your organization's customers or you service someone who does. Sadly, not everyone has that vision. Excuse me.
Yeah,
How would you describe what you're doing?
see this broom? Pile of dirt, sweeping the floor.
Well, that's certainly technically accurate, isn't it? Most people would likely offer a similar answer. But there's another way to look at things. In the early days of the space program, the story is told about a space agency employee who had a clear understanding of the mission of his organization, and equally important, clearly understood his relationship to that mission. And as with the last scene, he was also a maintenance person using a broom. Excuse me,
Yes?
how would you describe what you're doing?
Well, I'm helping put a man on the moon.
That was a terrific attitude and a great answer. Let's see how that same attitude might apply to an organization like yours.
Our president asks each of us to describe our jobs, not just the day-to-day tasks, but the big picture, how we contribute to the organization's mission. My answer? I said, I help the company increase sales of our products by maintaining an accurate database that can be relied upon for important information.
That was a good answer to give, wasn't it? In a large organization, it's easy to forget about the big picture, but we need to keep in mind how your role and your department contribute to the entire organization's success. Remember, we're all part of the whole company's effort. Know the mission of your organization and your role as it relates to that mission. Element number 2, internal customer service is everyone's responsibility. Let's imagine you enrolled in a stop smoking class, hoping to break your habit. And while you were impressed with the content being taught, during a break, you saw your instructor outside having a cigarette. Clearly, your instructor would be sending a mixed signal about the effectiveness of the class. Most people would consider that a double standard. Well, the same issue applies to internal customer service, too. If the idea of exceptional internal customer service is to be effective and believable, it needs to be practiced by every member of your organization, not just a few.
Judy, I meant to tell you, I was reviewing last month's service level numbers, and your team is doing great. Thank you, Don. We're really stressing the importance of trying to satisfy every customer we come into contact with.
Well, good job. I don't need to remind you that providing the best service to our customers is literally the foundation of our success. It's like I always say, it's all about how you treat people.
Hi, Mr. Layton.
How you doing today?
What we just saw was a double standard. The message was clear about the importance of treating external customers with care. Mr. Layton clearly understands the importance of great external service. However, he's sending other team members a contradictory message by not practicing good internal customer service himself. Let's see it done the right way.
Well, good job. I don't need to remind you that providing the best service to our customers is literally the foundation of our success. It's like I always say, it's all about how you treat people.
Hi, Mr. Layton.
How you doing today?
Well, good morning to you, Karen, and hello, Jim.
Sir.
I trust you two are enjoying this weather we're having.
Oh, it's incredible.
In order for great service to be projected outside the walls of your organization, it must start from within. And that means that every team member needs to be dedicated to making great internal service as high a priority as great external service. It's a double standard to give great external service while falling short on delivering internal customer service. Remember, offering a consistently high level of internal service is everyone's responsibility. Element number 3, respect employee differences. Our workforce is made up of a diverse population, different genders, religions, races, plus different work styles and lifestyles and personalities. This range and variety makes your organization a stronger and more interesting place to work. When you think about problems between coworkers, most actually stem from people issues and not from lack of skill or technical knowledge. Here's an example of what we mean.
Let me just check this message and see if anybody needs some help. Oh, no, it's Wayne. Oh, this guy talks so slow. He's got something wrong with his printer this time.
Well, it seems that the paper train.
Have you ever had to deal with this idiot? I swear. Last time he called, he said his monitor was too dim, sort of like him. I practically had to shave by the time he finished telling me about it. I'm surprised he hasn't asked where the any key is on the computer.
Joe's missing an important point. He's there to support all departments and especially the individuals who deliver service on behalf of the company. If people like Wayne don't need Joe, then guess what? The company doesn't need Joe. We need to focus on the issue at hand and not whether Wayne has some communication traits that make him different. The fact that Wayne may express himself slowly shouldn't be a distraction. Joe needs to respect employee differences the same as if he were working with an external customer. Let's go back to that scene.
Have you ever had to deal with this idiot? I swear. Last time he called, he said his monitor was too dim, sort of like him. I practically had to shave by the time he was finished telling me about it. Next time he'll call, he'll ask me where the any key is on the computer.
Joe, you might not know this, but Wayne is a really important researcher for the company. He actually has his PhD in biochemistry, so he's really Dr. Wayne, but he doesn't use that because he prefers to be low key. He has over 30 patents for the company, and I bet you also didn't know that he's the lead researcher for the new cancer drug that's going through FDA testing right now.
Wayne.
Wayne.
I didn't know that.
Let's face it, we work in a diverse world, and there's lots of differences in the way people look, talk, think, and act. No matter the gender, race, religion, or work style of your coworkers, everyone deserves the same high level of internal service and treatment. And notice that we're not suggesting that you necessarily need to understand these differences, but the starting point is that you agree to respect these differences. Just because someone acts or is different is no excuse to give poor internal service. Respect employee differences. Element number 4, recognize the personal space of others. The components of a clock are interdependent. All parts need to operate smoothly and be integrated with all the other parts. You could say the same thing about the modern office. Coworkers work in close proximity to others, making it very important that we observe and respect everyone's personal space. If we don't do that, it has an effect on other coworkers, and in many cases, it hurts the effectiveness of our dealings with our customers.
Hey, Cynthia,
You never finished filling me in. What happened at the staff meeting last night?
You heard about Ashley's promotion, didn't you?
Ashley? You're kidding, right?
Well, no, why do you say that? Ashley's done a good job. You know, her work with the Bloom Pedal account got noticed.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just a little bit jealous, that's all. You see, we went through orientation together.
Oh, well, I see. It's all about you, right?
No, it's not.
Obvious, wasn't it? Joe and Cynthia were holding a conversation right over Karen's work area. You wonder why it wasn't obvious to them. Let's try that again.
Hey, Cynthia, you never finished filling me in. What happened at the staff meeting yesterday?
I'll
Well,
take care of it.
you heard about Ashley's promotion.
Yes, sir.
In surveys with our customers, one of the most frequently mentioned offenses regarding personal space in the workplace was loud talking, especially around coworkers who were on a call. And like in that last scene, many times the offense was unintentional. And there were many other violations mentioned too where personal space was not being respected. See if you can relate to some of these. Use of cell phones in the office. Borrowing supplies and not returning them. Too much perfume or aftershave lotion. Loud speakerphones. Barging into someone's office. Chewing food or gum loudly. Singing or humming in the next cubicle. Using language that's inappropriate for an office environment. Body noises. Eating food with strong odors in a work area. It may seem like common sense, but when we work in close quarters with other coworkers, we need to be especially sensitive to recognize the personal space of others. Element number 5, work to resolve conflicts. Being aware of how we treat internal customers will help us all to do a better job. As we know, negative internal experiences can really impact how well your organization operates and ultimately how well our external customers are treated. When there's a major conflict between coworkers, sometimes it's necessary to involve a manager. However, there's a process to help you resolve internal service issues and possibly prevent the need for management involvement. And if used properly, this method can help you maintain a positive workplace atmosphere. It'll improve work relationships without always needing to drag managers into the situation. We call it the BIF approach. Here's an example of an internal conflict issue.
Do you have any idea how loud that is? Turn it down, will you?
That wasn't handled very well, was it? We're going to learn a better way to deal with that. It's a technique that can help you resolve conflicts. Again, we call it the BIF approach. Let's examine each step of the BIF approach letter by letter. B, behavior. First, describe the behavior. Use specific facts or an objective description, and that's important to keep from asking questions that will put him or her on the defensive and possibly start an argument before we even get to the point. Next is I, for impact. Tell the effects that the behavior is having on you. How is it impacting your job or your performance? And finally, F, for feelings. Tell how the behavior and impact cause you to feel. Now, stop and listen and let the other person absorb what you've said. Often that silent period will result in the other person apologizing or suggesting a solution. Let's watch an example.
Excuse me, Joe. The radio playing is really distracting. It's making it difficult for me to hear and concentrate. It's embarrassing for me because I've had to ask my customer to repeat herself several times.
Then Cynthia stops to let Joe absorb what was said. And did you notice that Cynthia spoke in a very even-tempered way? That calm delivery sets the tone of the conversation. If she was angry or attacking in her manner, it's likely the other party would mirror that and respond in the same angry way. And then you have a conflict, not a solution. Also notice that we're not telling Joe what to do. We aren't saying, hey, turn that down, or ordering him to change behavior. That would just irritate the person we're trying to get to cooperate with us. I want you to be aware that the BIF approach doesn't work in every case, but in many cases it will work, and the need for getting a manager involved is greatly reduced. Plus, you'll know you handled the situation professionally. Using the BIF approach will help you to resolve conflicts. Element number 6, show appreciation. In that last section, we learned about the BIF approach for resolving conflicts. That same 3-step process is valuable in another setting. Watch this.
Hi, Don. I hope I'm not disturbing you. I never heard. Did you get that budget report I sent you last week?
Yeah, sure I did.
Okay, good. Because I spent all Saturday finishing up that report, but I thought it really turned out well.
Yeah, it was fine. Good job. Oh, since you did that so fast, let me know when you can complete the review for the annual report.
Let me know when you can complete that review for the annual report. He doesn't even appreciate how hard I worked to get that done, and on my own time.
When any of your coworkers do a good job that helps you, they deserve recognition. Too many people are quick to complain and slow to compliment. Let's use the Biff approach once again.
Judy, you got a minute?
Sure.
Hey, I meant to tell you, I appreciate the way you organized all the budget information. It helped me to get an early start to review all the requests. Feels good to work with someone who has your skills.
Thank you, Don. I really appreciate your saying so.
Did you see how the Biff approach worked in a positive setting? Use the Biff approach to acknowledge and show appreciation for a job well done. Offering praise when it's truly warranted goes a long way to foster a positive work environment. That leads to great internal customer service. And as we all know, that leads to great external customer service. Now let's review what we covered today. Element number 1, know the mission of your organization and your role. Be aware of the big picture and know how your specific role is helping your organization achieve its mission. Element number 2, internal customer service is everyone's responsibility. Avoid double standards. Element number 3, respect employee differences. Be tolerant of all the differences that make up our diverse workforce. Element number 4, recognize the personal space of others. Be sensitive to the fact that other people are working nearby and practice the golden rule in all your office interactions. Element number 5, work to resolve conflicts. Use the 3-step Biff approach for smoothing out rough spots in your relations with others. Element number 6, show appreciation. When someone does something good that affects you, let them know. Again, using the 3-step Biff approach. There you have it. Let's raise everyone's consciousness to this fact. External and internal customers share one key characteristic. They are all important customers. I'm Nancy Friedman. Thank you for watching.